This is the audio to accompany my blog this week around identity and impact. And it kind of sets the context. I've just come back from a retreat in Queenstown where we got to sort of run our first international leadership retreat since COVID kicked us for a spin in 2020, right? So there's 25 leaders running high performance black belt practices, and they're all subject matter experts. It was an amazing group of people. I noticed a significant lack of ego amongst the group, and I wasn't the only one. Many a person shared kind of that same perspective at different times privately with me. Lisa ONeill is the CEO of Thought Leaders, and she was the architect of the experience, and kind of, as only Lisa can, she built extreme care into every moment of the experience. Lisa has attended 1,000 retreats and run something like 500, so she's a retreat master, and this mastery was really on show all week with the way she opened people up and facilitated great conversations. And I was left with a bit of a formula: high achievers plus curated caring experiences equals less ego. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. And I'm very fortunate to be an elder in this community. In fact, I can say this in the audio and not the written. I was given a toku and through a ceremony, and kind of officially sort of signaled my move to elder. And so as such, as an elder, I'm kind of welcome at everything, required to do nothing, but invited to share privately and publicly if I see anything worth a comment or a remark. So I thought I might share that. My primary perspective is that I think high achievers who were there and were focused on the impact they're making and less about the identity they were curating were more relaxed and at ease and driven to connect. So there were deeply personal, reflective conversations, and we all had them, and people were authentic and vulnerable, and the quality of the conversations was amazing. They were open-hearted, clear-minded, agency-oriented conversations that really respect the difference between us and the integrations that make us, I guess, like us. So if you want to remove the ego from a top performance team, you want to get them focused on the impacts they're making and not just the results as they apply to their own personal identity. Rebecca Sutherlands is a great facilitation leader and black belt in our community based out of Canada. And she shares some tips in a recent newsletter around what to do now people are starting to regather. And these were strategies that I think are both inspired and deeply instructional, like really pragmatic. And one that I find super relevant to the experience of our first leadership retreat in some time was this suggestion from Rebecca. It's like tip number 4 or 5, and the link's down below. She said, don't snap back into old patterns, but instead be intentional about setting new habits of collaboration. Exactly right. Our context has changed, and so have we. I know that deeply in myself. And we would be wise to co-create new rhythms rather than assuming that our old ones will still fit. As I said, the link is in the written newsletter. Bottom line for me, bring your people together, do it well, and use this moment to break old habits or rhythms. And I think the habit of what is the impact that you're making as a group versus what is the identity that you're creating or curating for yourself helps us become a we and move away from purely a me. All right, with love.